Several South African organizations today marched with Zimbabweans in solidarity with Zimbabwe, and they voiced their concerns against Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa. Several organizations across the region, such as organizations in Botswana, organizations in Mozambique, South Africa, have spoken against Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa's cap through and brutalization of the people of Zimbabwe. While some may say, why did Zimbabweans not march in their own country? We saw the situation today on Mnangagwa heavily deployed. Military personnel, members of the Zimbabwe Republic Police, they were not there to protect the marchers, but they were there to crush the marchers. Just like what he did in 2018 after losing elections to Nelson Chamisa. And as such, it must be understandable that today people calculatively did not go out to the streets. By the way, some had organized a stay away, several Zimbabweans stayed away. It was not business as usual, although the state media tried to give an impression that it was business as usual. Most of the places across the country, it was not business as usual. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let's kickstart with the MK political party that is led by Jacob Zuma. Official speaking during the protest in Pretoria against ZANU-PF. This is what the official had to say about Mnangagwa.
I think all the ways were very delighted to be here supporting March and March and the people of Zimbabwe. Were positioned very well at the leadership of Mkondo Wesizo that we were supporting March and March and will support it until it ends. Until you said until Mkondo Wesizo, that's our position. Thank you.
So that is an official from Umkondo Wesizo who spoke during the march, the protest that was done by Zimbabweans outside Pretoria embassy in South Africa. And then let's hear also the national organizer for Aikale movement revealing that they intend to take Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa to the International Criminal of Court, specifically with the issue of how he treats Zimbabweans. Let's hear the speaker speaking.
Zimbabwe. Our message is very clear. We are unapologetic. We can see what's happening in Zimbabwe, and I've indicated this to the previous people who were interviewing me. I've already briefed my lawyer. This has been done already. We are going to take the government of Mnangagwa International Criminal Court. This is a decision that we already taken as whatever that happened today in Zimbabwe, we're just going to strengthen our case in taking the government of Zimbabwe to ICC. We can see what's happening on the regional politics that is being paraded here with SADC. They are protecting each other. It can't be that President Ramaphosa can be held accountable with Palapala, but Mnangagwa can't be held accountable. There's nothing special about Mnangagwa, by the way. Yes. So we're going to enforce the democratic state to be ushered in Zimbabwe with our solidarity. The revolution that is unfolding in Zimbabwe is going to go to Cape, from Cape to Cairo. And this has to happen with the solidarity by South African and also.
So that's the message. So they intend to take Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa to the International Criminal Court. So before we hear the next speaker, there were several speakers, and now I will give Mnang, that is Pretoria Ngulube, who also spoke about the regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa. She is from Zimbabwe. Let's listen to her.
igama lami Ngulube size lapha ukuzotshengisela manje owokuqala sithi thina simile obheka impilombezi obotshiweyo ezweni laseZimbabwe sibotshelwa ukukhuluma constitutional thina esiyibonayo ukuthi iyasikhoneza singabantu baseZimbabwe njalo sithina ngoba ithathe amalungelo abantu thina singabantu bemathebeleni kokuqala lento ebona constitution ekhishwa yiCAP okuyi-NPRC ekhishwayo namhlanje kule intokuzenini izabe beyishiphile ingasekho. So thina singabantu nje sizobonisa lapho ukuthi simala labo kade bethe bona bezomatsha ekhaya bematsha abenesimekephi.
Kodwa-ke njengamanje sibonile amaposta phuma ingathi bayasatshisa ukuthi angeke ibe khona imashi eThathe. Ngabe mhlawumbe uthi sibona ngathi amaphoyisa aseZimbabwe nje ayabavimba abantu.
Lokho kubonisa ukuthi uhulumende waseZimbabwe uhulumende oncindezelo, uhulumende ongafisi uzwa ukuthi abantu bathini, uhulumende ongalandaba lokuthi abantu bathini, ohlezi nje enyathele ngesicathulo sakhe phezu kwabantu akuvunyelwa ukuthi lokho ofisa ukukhuluma ukuyenzela kahle elizweni. Futhi njalo kuyakhonfirm ukuthi iSouth Africa iyawaqakathekisa amalungelo abantu. That's why ubona namhlanje ama-South Africans maningi la eZimbabwe kodwa amaZimbabwe malutshwane.
So njengamanje ungathini mhlawumbe lezo zinto lezo yizo mhlawumbe ingaba umthelelo ukuthi mhlawumbe abantu baseZimbabwe bethanda ukuthi beze ngala eSouth Africa kakhulu?
Ingathi ukuthi mina since 1980 iZimbabwe ithole uzibuse abantu abaningi babaleka kakhulu ngenxa yokuthi iZimbabwe yavele yaqala ngohlelo lokubulala abantu emathebeleleni. That's why ubona abantu begcwele la abaqalanga namhlanje ukuza la eSouth Africa baqalele way back ngabo-1980s bebalekela isandla esensibi uhulumende obusa ngesandla sensibi. La namhlanje abantu babalekela khona ukuthi alikho ilungelo lokukhuluma. Wakhuluma uyalandelwa, wakhuluma uyanyamalala.
Okay, so that is Pretoria Ngulube, one of the speakers. Let's also listen to another speaker who was there.
Our forefathers, our grandfathers, they are nowhere to be found because of the regime that was being in Zimbabwe. But now we are chased out. The owners of the Zimbabwe, even here, their children who were being given the citizenship of Zimbabwe, they come and occupy this is their permits. But us with Zimbabwe, we didn't occupy it. But the foreign nationals occupy. But we are now changed. As a daughter of Chief Marshall, etc., I am saying, can you move out to change the constitution to become Cape 3? Are you the descendant of Munumutapa and saying you want to be a king? Who are you to become a king in Zimbabwe? Why not me to become a queen, the queen of Zimbabwe? Why are you suffering? We think that's it all. We need him to move. He has to be immediate effect. He is.
So you see, these are the speakers. All of them, they spoke with one voice that Emmerson Mnangagwa has overstayed his time. These were protests that were happening in South Africa. I like what Pretoria Ngulube said, saying that the people of Zimbabwe began suffering when ZANU-PF came into power, that is in 1980, saying they are abusing or undermining the rights of the people of Zimbabwe. They began by killing people in Matabeleland through what is popularly known as the Kukuraunde genocide, and the mastermind of the genocide being Emmerson Mnangagwa himself, saying in South Africa people are allowed to protest, to ventilate their issues against the government because they have a democratic government. In Zimbabwe, if you protest, if you speak against the government, they will act in the manner they have done to Begimpilo Mbedzi. That is to silence you, saying in some circumstances you will begin to be followed. In some circumstances you may disappear and never be seen by your parents. Many Zimbabweans have suffered this fate. This looks like stories, folk tales, but it is real. It is what is happening in Zimbabwe. Many speakers in South Africa saying this marks the beginning of the revolution. As I said, in my view, it won't be easy, but I can tell you from now onwards, Emerson Mnang will have sleepless nights. We'll begin to see every day police patrolling day and night carrying AK-47. We are slowly, but it's like history is repeating itself. That is what happened towards the last days of Robert Gabriel Mugabe. People think that I'm actually being positive. No, I'm analyzing and read politics. I'm a politician myself. I can read politicians. Emerson Mnangagwa has overstayed his time. The decisions that he has made are the very same decisions that are going to put him in trouble. Of course, we are yet to have Hattaches. He will fight by all means. He will try to escape the traps by all means, but eventually Emerson Mnangagwa is on his way out. As well as Ugandans, people, when they are removed, they will realize how simple and easy it is. Of course, I see a lot. Don't judge this situation that is happening at the moment with the naked eye, basing on what Mnangagwa is currently doing at the moment. In fact, the opposite is true. Mnangagwa is at its weakest. The regime is at its weakest. Remember, these demonstrations were faceless. It was just people on social media pushing these demonstrations. But look at the resources that government have put on the streets of Zimbabwe. That on its own demonstrate and reveal that people are tired. People decided, even Zimbabweans decided to stand up in a country where it is dangerous, South Africa, and said, we are going to protest. They protested. The police working for the safety and well-being of the protesters. But in Zimbabwe, there were police and soldiers ready to shoot any person who actually protested or showed signs of protest in Zimbabwe. That Mnangagwa does not think twice when it comes to killing people. This is the person who is fingered in the killing, brutal murder of a woman who was a pastor was it in Harare or Midlands? This is a human being that has been fingered in numerous rape cases, not all of adults, but also of children. So we are speaking about a very, very heartless leader in Zimbabwe, especially when referring to Emerson Mnangagwa. But, they say kingdoms comes and kingdoms goes. At some stage, this kingdom will definitely fall, and I can predict that this marks the beginning of the fall of the kingdom. In fact, we have been in the phase of the removal of Emerson Mnangagwa with interactions of Camp 3 that were happening. This is the protest. This is the process. Sometimes it becomes so painful. It appears Emerson Mnangagwa is winning. That is what was happening with Robert Gabriel Mugabe. You would think the man was winning until the military was in the streets of Zimbabwe and telling the Zimbabweans that they were dealing with the situation, beginning by targeting the enemies of the state around then Robert Gabriel Mugabe, even the enemies of the states that have been made known to the people of Zimbabwe. I can tell you that they are going to be dealt with. And today already shake-up events transpired. Emerson Mnangagwa aborting the Bulawayo event, that on its own, I can attest to you, is pregnant. At least it may be aborted without officials going even to the Nkomo Airport, waiting there for him, only to be told that no, go back home, unexplained what is happening. They were not told why whether there is a cancellation. I thought that maybe he decided to use another mode of transport. Something is at play politically in Zimbabwe. You don't have to view these things with the naked eye. A lot is happening behind the scenes. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we film live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okanqunu is signing out. Let me love and leave. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast, definitely, as I give you more.